Emilio Estevez, and Time Travel. Rear their ugly head in Freejack. This is Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness.
So I think if Richard Grieco's character of Richard Grieco in Night at the Roxbury would have seen this film first, he would have been like, Emilio! He didn't do a very good job, although he did a really bad job in this movie. He delivered lines poorly, and the lines were stupid, yes, but...
You're throwing Emilio under the bus because of this movie?
Dude, he had one look the entire movie, confused.
Well, actually, if you've ever seen Wisdom, which he wrote and directed as well, and Demi Moore is in it, that shit is terrible.
So,
unviewable.
The Young Guns, Mighty Ducks...
The Mighty Ducks, the first Mighty Ducks is a heartwarming film.
He's not a good actor.
Hey, but he did have one good line for this entire movie.
Which was?
It's like going to the whorehouse and trying not to catch the clap.
No, he said you couldn't even catch the clap in a whorehouse while he was getting chased.
Yeah, that's the one. Should have wrote that down.
Yeah, well, you didn't. And I went ahead and took care of it for you.
That's what I got out of this movie.
All right, well, that's the show. Thanks for listening. Just kidding. I liked it. I thought it was a good time. I thought Freejack was fun.
I would
show.
say that it's not the best one we've watched so far, just because I like Invasion USA better. But you guys weren't a fan of Invasion USA, so do you guys?
No,
think
I liked
this is the...
Invasion USA was fun. I enjoyed Invasion USA. But
I think that Sam is right.
Married to it.
This movie is cursed.
Why?
Because I almost fell asleep, and I had to will myself to stay awake. And then directly after the movie, I was like, I gotta go take a 30-minute nap. Or this is not gonna happen. I can't even do the episode. It's like I am just drained.
I think that has nothing to do with this movie. That's just you all the time.
I don't know. I'm thinking it's the Emilio curse.
So, the concept of the movie, essentially, is that
in the future,
Alex Furlong gets
bone-jacked.
Yeah, bone-jacked. What the hell?
So I'm guessing that some of the terminology made it from the 1959 novel. There was very little that made it from the novel to the movie, and some of the terminology was probably which made it.
If you get bone-jacked, do you get bone-jacked or free-jacked?
You're a free-jack if you're a jack
who's
that gets free. Is what I'm assuming.
And if you're a bone jack, you're a jack that gets boned?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much how it goes.
So they said in the movie that, he wasn't supposed to have any kind of consciousness.
Right.
When they brought him over, and then they were like, well, we'll just give him a lobotomy with this laser machine.
So you get pulled out of...
After it was in the UFO Subway Sandwich Hospital car.
You get pulled out of time and sent to 2009.
The moment before your death.
What does it have to be before your death, or it's just in Alex Furlong's case? It was right.
No,
before his death?
They were doing it with people who would have appeared to be dead.
Oh, so nobody
gets hurt.
But there's no corpses ever.
Well, in terms of the ethics of it, yes, it's still wrong. But this person died in history, so you're just making use of their body that they're no longer making use of.
Interesting concept. Okay, so he gets pulled out of time because he's a race car driver. His car gets exploded because
he hit another tire.
He hit another car's tire,
and it made him
so
go
awesome,
airborne,
probably 40 feet in the air,
about 25, 28, somewhere in there,
pretty high.
Yeah.
Pretty high. Those cars, they
can get airborne, but not...
They can get airborne, but as soon as they get airborne, they flip on their backs. They don't they're not like... Vroom!
And it exploded nice.
Oh, yeah.
They reused that shot so many times during this movie, and it was like...
It was the shot of the movie.
Yeah. I can see why you keep reusing this, because this is probably the best you've got.
Yeah, that's
Although the boat explosion was a pretty decent explosion.
Yeah, but you can fuck up the boat explosion and do it again. Like, oh,
it wasn't
God damn it,
nice
Billy.
Boat.
You blew up the boat wrong. We didn't like it. We have to do it again. You get one take at the car going through the wall.
Go get us another 4 wins.
Yeah.
Okay, so did anybody else notice that the cars kind of looked like, You know, on Saturday Night Live, they have the incredibly gay duo.
Can I get to, like, the movie ever before you dive, like...
They look
2 hours into the future of the movie. We'll get to all of that. I want to talk about the movie.
I'm just excited.
So, he gets exploded, gets teleported in time by Mick Jagger, Victor Van Sadek.
Something weird like that.
Yeah, you couldn't even pronounce that guy's name.
And so, the very first thing you see of Mick Jagger is him running this operation, the jacking...
The bone jacking
machine.
Operation.
And
Jagger was my favorite character, by the way.
Absolutely my favorite character. And he totally blows it. As soon as he's on screen, he's just blowing it. Blowing it on his lines. Like, I'm not even going to...
I don't even remember. I was trying to remember what he said first, but it didn't matter. Start the machine.
Yeah, start it. Start it right now.
He's just like no personality every time he talks.
No, like,
I thought you would screw up eventually.
Yeah. So, and then he has to, like... Photoshop
some of the
Photoshop him.
Some of the finer plot points is that they had to go to the exact spot that it happened on Earth to retrieve him from back in time.
Yes, that is an interesting, like, why.
That they didn't carry, they didn't explain or run with at all. Like, that was something that they had to get, like...
Well, but why did they have to frame him up so nice in time? Like, in the computer, like, oh, we got to frame...
That's what they did. That was the time web.
Maybe it left a little more, right there.
Because that's what they were going to do, is they were going to take that piece of space-time and then grab it.
But...
So the actual physical location mattered more than anything.
Now, zoom in more.
Yeah.
More.
He did not have any moves like Jagger.
No, he didn't.
He didn't dance. He didn't do the chicken or anything.
He did sort of wander off after he watched a guy get exploded.
That was pretty cool.
He just walked over his body. He
kind of looked away like, that's not cool, and then just wandered off.
He's like, is that guy actually dead?
Oh, I'm sure he was. He was sure that he was dead. He got blown in half. Because remember, like, there's like half of the body like flies across the screen. It was great.
No, but like the look on his face though during that shot was like, I think that stuntman might actually have hurt himself. Should I walk over him? And the guy with the camera is going, yeah, come on, Mick Jagger, walk. Because he's just standing there, and Mick Jagger's like, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
But he's not even looking at anything, because it's like in a whole different look. He's probably not looking at any, like, they're like, look at the thing and be concerned. Why am I concerned about the roof over there?
He's probably filled with vodka. So they get him. They get Alex Furlong. Dumbest name ever. And he's now in the future, and he's got time displacement. He doesn't know where he's at. And he kind of... Oh, he, like, kicks the crap out of all of the doctor guys.
Yeah, I was going to say, go back to the lobotomy machine, because that lobotomy machine had to be some expensive stunt work there.
Yeah.
Like, as far as graphics and stuff, because it had a laser and everything.
Expensive graphics stuff.
It was the same special effects that was in Empire Strikes Back with the Force Lightning.
Yeah. The Force Lightning made an appearance in this movie at least twice.
A couple times. Because some of the guns did Force Lightning too.
I never saw the double-barreled shotgun that made the cocking sound. I was really looking for that.
I didn't see that either.
Yeah.
Was that the black guy? Maybe that was the black guy.
Was that even in this movie, or am I thinking of something else?
I think you might be thinking of something else.
No, it's written right down here.
Well, no, but I think when you wrote that down, you were thinking of something else.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because I don't
wrote it down off of the trivia in IMDb, so...
Huh, interesting. So, he's in the van, the hamburger-shaped UFO...
It was the submarine sandwich.
Sandwich van thing. And kicks the crap out of the doctors because they want to lobotomize him.
Sort of. I think because they... And that other thing that never explains itself, because they talk a couple times later that who tipped them off to where we were going to be. Oh, I guess maybe the guy, I don't know.
They had to get out of there, though, because
there was guys with machine guns shooting at him all of a sudden.
There was guys shooting machine guns throughout the entire movie. Like, who are these people?
Shoot a machine gun.
They just show up and start shooting everything.
Yeah, they did a piss poor job of that until the very end, and then you're like, oh, that's where all those little fuck sticks came from. Like, why there was riots in the streets.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
It was like the future sucks, but
people just shoot each other.
But no, when we get to that part though, but the guy who was going to get to take over the company.
Yeah, but there was the people shooting each other in the streets for no reason.
That he sent those people there to stop them
at that particular time. But there is just people shooting.
Remember when he goes right
throughout the movie?
He meets Buster Poindexter. Some guy just starts shooting another guy, like grabs him and uses him as a human shield. And that has nothing to do. Everyone's just shooting
Everybody's just shooting at each other all the damn time. And everybody's shooting at Mick Jagger.
Once again, like I said on episode 1 of this show, the future is a shithole. Once again. But in this future, you can live in a modern society that is actually just like today.
It was kind of a shithole.
Or you could be in the shitty of McShitterson town. Like, there's no middle class.
It was dumb that it was shitty because nobody had problems like oh, we've got toxic waste everywhere. Yet there's bums eating river rats,
and the bum is eating the river rat.
You should be like, oh my flesh.
Talking about how the sauce makes the river rat better.
Yes, you gotta have the sauce.
Oh, you want me to cook you up one? I got a bunch over here. So even like the bums aren't hungry because
the bums are
river rats
well.
everywhere.
They're tasty. River rats.
Tasty river rats that are
disease free,
plentiful.
So I think the future is actually nice. Everybody had cars. You could shop out in the streets. Yes, you sometimes had to dodge bullets while shopping out in the streets, but it's not like
it was shithole.
You couldn't survive. Because
it wasn't aesthetically pleasing.
It wasn't nice per se, but I have seen worse futures.
Abandoned buildings on fire. You're right. I've seen worse futures, but it was still like shithole city.
And then if you lived in the city, the apartments could sort of defy physics because when Rene Russo goes into her apartment, which is obviously being shot in a hotel, the doors are about 12 feet apart, and then she walks through the other side, and there's fucking 18 feet going either way on either side of her without any visible doors. Like, it's a little apartment that, like, folds space so that it can be giant in a little space, I guess. But her apartment was fucking gigantic compared to how close the neighbor's door was.
Is that there's a few weird... there's a lot of weird things in this movie, but... Nobody ages, first off, I'm just going to get at. And then he goes to Buster Poindexter's house, and Buster Poindexter has, like, the front of his apartment is just a dump, like, mega dump. Paint's peeling, and there's holes in it. And then he's like, oh, this is my actual place. My actual place is back here. And he opens up this, like, secret cardboard box door into another shithole.
It had nicer things.
Barely. Like, it had wallpaper.
It had a painting.
That's about it. Painting and wallpaper, and it was basically just a closet.
And a hubcap from a 67 Porsche.
Yeah.
As an ashtray. So he had trash. He had some trash. he had to have some found materials to make his life okay, I guess.
And that he also wasn't just like... He himself was hiding his apparently... affluent lifestyle in his secret apartment.
Into the cardboard box.
He, like, pulls Alex Furlong into the apartment that's shittier than the actual apartment, and he's, like, wearing a wife beater that's, like, heavily soiled. But then once he closes the door, he puts on a very shiny and nice smoking jacket.
Yeah. Gotta class it up.
Now that no one's watching, I've got my smoking jacket.
I can be who I actually am.
Let's go into the swanky half of my shitty apartment.
Yeah, but don't forget though that in the future, they roadblock off the poor people from the rich.
Yes.
You have to go through the roadblocks in order to get to the rich part.
Right.
This is very much like the Hunger Games.
Yes, sort of.
Well, the town is.
What was up in the beginning as well with their, like, actually carries through the whole movie when they're a couple, Rene Russo and Emilio Estevez. They're the weirdest couple, on-screen couple of all time.
This Alex Furlong is a weird guy.
She's also weird, though.
She was weird. You'd have to be because...
They are weird people.
Her opening scene was her kissing his butt.
She kisses him square on the butt cheek.
Butt kisser.
Yeah. She kisses his ass. And then...
Literally.
I like your tongue. It's a nice tongue. Okay. Who talks like that?
Yeah.
And then she nibbled my ear for luck. I'm not going to nibble your ear out in public. Do it. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jackie was pretty spot on with her reenactment with the kissy face and the weirdness of the whole ordeal. I just didn't get why they were so strange as a couple. But he goes to Buster Poindexter because Buster Poindexter was like his old race manager.
We forgot that he got saved by the nun. The only person that actually fucking cared about Amanda Plummer is the only person.
I thought her character was kind of unnecessary.
Well, I think that it was that they sort of in the ideology of the film, which is paper thin, that the church does not condone the idea of transferring consciousness into a new body as it's unnatural and unholy.
Fuck, I don't care.
Well, her best scene, though, I mean, her best line was like, God told me to turn the other cheek, and then she kicks that guy square in the nards.
She was the only one that showed up to act in that whole movie.
Yes, Amanda Plummer usually does a nice job, because she's just fruity as shit. Yeah. And she always does a nice job with it.
Right. But yeah, the whole concept of the church is... I don't know. But anyways, he goes there, finds Buster Poindexter, does the shitty hotel room thing, and then Buster Poindexter is like, "Oh, I'll help you find your wife thing from the past."
Fiancé, maybe.
Yeah, it's never really clear whether they're a couple, like what kind of level of couple they are. So they go to this restaurant so that he can make a phone call.
They don't live together because he goes to her apartment to find her before he goes to Buster Poindexter. That's the only inference that I can make, is he went to her apartment, therefore they did not live together.
Yeah, so they weren't even that tight.
No.
So
she's just like a 3-time-a-week kiss my butt.
Yeah, kiss my butt and wash my socks.
I don't even know if she washes his socks, just his starfish. Little rim jobs.
Ew.
She's a butt kisser. I can't do anything. I don't make the rules here. Kissing butt is kissing butt.
Well, there's butt cheek, and then there's butthole. Well, it is two different areas. Oh, yeah, like, I could probably kiss somebody's butt if I had to. You know, but kissing somebody's butthole, I don't know.
Well, I think that when you just casually, like, when you could be doing something else, because she's, like, getting ready, and she just, like, goes in for a quick butt smooch, that means that when she's got time on her hands, she's going to go a little bit deeper in.
That is familiar territory to that woman at that point. I have, oh, yes, it's your ass. I know what to do here.
Hello, old friend.
I've seen this before.
I don't have time for your usual working over, but I'll just give you a quick smooch on the cheek here.
I don't have time to take you to dinner first.
Oh my god.
I'm trying to put on my earrings, so this is going to be a quick one.
So, him and Buster Poindexter go to this restaurant thing. This is, again, in the future, it wasn't that big of a shithole because they had restaurants.
And it was like, the food was like supposed to be crappy.
Food looked like it was supposed to be crappy.
It kind of just looked like mincemeat pie.
Yeah, kind of.
And at the same time, I was like, okay, this guy didn't like mincemeat. Well, you shouldn't have ordered mincemeat pie, dipshit. Yeah. And then the diner itself was like, I've been in worse.
I have been in worse diners than that.
I haven't. Yeah, that place was
bring guns into the diner.
Remember Manly's?
Everybody had guns.
Up on Federal Way before Federal Way had development?
No, I never went there.
It was like a trailer house that you could get breakfast, and it was like you wanted to use your shirt to clean the spoon off, but when the corned beef hash came, it was pretty good.
I think that Merritt's is shittier than the restaurant.
Merritt's is shittier than the rest of the diner that they were in. Yeah, that's true.
So
even though it's 4:00 in the morning, you gotta
get Merritt's.
You gotta get Merritt's.
But but everybody's packing heat in this restaurant though, and the fat guy with the mincemeat pie just doesn't like strangers.
He doesn't like anything.
And he's like showing his piece off, like, I've got a gun. Well, Emilio Estevez is like, I've got a gun too. You're not supposed to be drawing attention to yourself, Emilio.
And he's like smiling like a little kid when he's doing it too,
like Young Guns.
Oh boy, I've been waiting all day for a gunfight.
Hooray!
I brought this in here for just this occasion.
I am such a fucking wild card that I can't go to a restaurant without trying to start a gunfight with a random stranger.
And he does, sort of. Like they get in a gunfight.
The police show up.
The police show up and they start shooting the place up. Yeah, he turns him in, but the fat guy
for $10 million
cacks Buster Poindexter.
He was trying to shoot Emilio Estevez from about 4 feet away and misses.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just
like
worst shot ever.
And then gets Buster Poindexter, but he was like, he started shooting because he got his gruel spilled onto his shirt.
Yeah.
Like that, you son of a bitch! Kills a man. Kills Buster Poindexter. Huh. The future is kind of shitty in this movie, I guess.
Yeah, but if he would not have shot Poindexter, then Emilio could not have gotten away.
Well, I think he would have got away
necessary
anyway.
as a plot.
Yeah, because Poindexter was grabbing onto his leg, and he was like, "Let go, let go."
So Buster's dead, and the cops are there. So Emilio has to have a chase scene. That's the chase scene with the tanks, right?
No,
the motorcycles.
The motorcycles, the motorcycles.
And this guy in this movie is supposed to be Emilio's character is supposed to be a race car driver. So he's supposed to be this car driver.
Car driver, yeah.
He is a piece of shit driver for the rest of the movie.
He got away every time he was in it.
Supposedly, they made it seem like he was doing some hot driving in the champagne wagon. Because he was like saying, "How did you like that?" And he's like, "Oh, that's nice." So they were jerking each other off pretty good during that case scene. But yeah, he escapes via motorcycle, which in the future, the cars are future cars.
But the bikes are
not. But the bikes are still 1991 Honda CRVs.
Yeah. Yep, the exact same.
Penis cars!
Like when he went to do the display or whatever, or like he was trying to you gotta turn it on, I was like, they didn't even dress that up. That's what those look like. That's what the speedometer looks like on that.
Black ones that had a sticker on it. That's it.
Yeah, they put a sticker over where it says Honda.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the penis cars. Yeah. I'm so excited now we can talk about this.
The penis cars, I don't really think that they were kind of like the ambiguously gay duo, but they were dumb. Because all of the cars have the driver's spot, but the driver is completely out in the open.
Then the windshield isn't tall enough to shield the wind.
So if you get
and there's no
raining
door,
or snowing,
you notice that? So they have to Dukes a Hazard into the driver's
They have
side.
to do
they
it
probably
backflip
climb up awkwardly and then just slide down haphazardly.
I think that would have been a fun thing to do in the movie.
While making this sound. Ah.
A little left, you're going to miss the hole.
Start all over again.
So, the drivers have got the worst job in the world in the future.
Yeah.
That's fun.
And then if you are easily car sick, you don't want one of these because there's no windows inside the car. You just, get into this death trap.
You're in the ball sack.
Yeah, you're in the nut sack, and you have no idea where you're at until you get there, apparently. Yeah. I am clueless. We could be in China right now.
But there's a video phone in there, so you can talk to somebody and see them. Where are you going?
But you can't talk to the driver because he doesn't have a video phone. Oh, and he's also exposed to the elements.
He did get the video phone with a second time that Rene Russo, and when they bring him to the boat that explodes, she says, he comes on the video phone and says, "We're here." Because they can't tell because you can't see the outside.
That's true.
So he does come on video phone for a second, but it was the angle that he was on there was no way the camera was attached to the car, so there's magic cameras for the video phone for the driver.
That is the same thing that happens in the next chase scene with the Jagger that you were just talking about. That's nice. Because he's on the laptop.
The laptop in the champagne. Because that's actually a continuation. It's a double chase scene. So he steals the cop's bike, gets away from the other motorcycle cop, and by that time Mick Jagger has showed up with his fucking full entourage of bullshit with jeeps and dune buggies and every other.
Are you sure that's not the chase? That chase doesn't start with him going to her apartment.
Oh, that's right.
And
he
Jagger sets him
on
up.
The motorcycle gets to her place. She hits the intruder button because she's like, "You died 15 years ago.
You're somebody else. You're the guy that's living in his body." Yeah, I am. I am the guy that's living in this body. I'm Alex Furlong. Everybody lives inside of a body.
And then I think that was the plot hole, too, because as we had established her character earlier, if she would have wanted to verify it was him, she would have
just given him a rim job.
Just get in there.
His cheeks.
There's only one way to tell.
If you're uncomfortable
you.
with this, then we know.
The old dipstick.
Well, I guess that wouldn't matter because it is the body, so she doesn't know who's in his head.
Checking fluids.
So she knew that old standard test wasn't going to work, I guess. So she was right.
Well, she could have just asked for his ID or whatever, or his ID number like they did in the end.
But he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. It's called his fucking social. We all got one.
Why not?
Just anything. Anything that only he and her would know. Anytime you meet somebody that you're their identity is confused, or they're wearing a different body, or they've transplanted brains, or they're now into the robot.
Did you verify it?
It starts with a 5.
Just there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want a body snatch me, Justin doesn't know.
All you have to do is say, "Hey, where did we have dinner on our first date?" There's something You can almost meet anybody and have an experience with that person just for like 5 seconds and have something that you can prove their identity to.
Yeah,
that only you and them can know.
If you really are Alex Furlong, where do I like to kiss you? My butt.
My buns.
Square on my butt.
You know, they could have given him some nicer looking man panties too. Like they didn't even
gray Fruit of the Looms. And I was like, oh yeah, they used to make those in gray. I wonder if they still do.
Not to mention that they were all saggy, so it kind of looked like you had a load going on.
There's no way to wear
make underwear in brown. Like just make them brown already.
Poopaflage.
You just buy them, and they're yeah, exactly. Just make them brown and make the crotch yellow.
Have some problems there, Justin?
Well, I know that some people have once or twice pooped their pants and maybe had a little pee dribble out. Yeah. I think it happens to a few people.
There's really just no way to... Like, briefs are just not a attractive thing on anyone. No one looks good.
So they might as well be brown and yellow.
They may as well, yeah.
Yeah, they're underwear. Underwear's stupid anyways. They're not supposed to be sexy. They're just there to protect your bits.
They're actually just there to protect your pants from your bits.
And they fail.
Yep, because if you have an accident, those underwear are not holding water.
Yeah, and they also protect your bits from your pants, too, because it's like your underwear is the zipper shield.
Oh, yeah. There's the zipper shield aspect of it. It's more like the, remember there's like water-resistant watches and waterproof watches? Underwear is like water-resistant
brown resistant. Alex Furlong. So he goes to her house. Jagger set him up. He's the one that's guided him there and booby-trapped the house so that he could get in, so that he knew where to find him. Then they have the sweet chase.
Yes.
They gets the Chevy S10 champagne truck. Is this your truck, or is this your truck? No, it's the company's. Not anymore.
That's how he hijacks. Yeah, that's how he hijacks the truck. But I really liked that little truck. I thought it was so cute.
It was a Chevy S10, Jackie.
I know, but it had like this whole like wagon thing with all this champagne in it. I mean,
it was a drivable sign, is what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, if that truck showed up to my house, I would open the door for that stranger. I'd be like, "That's a nice champagne truck that I am now going to go out there and grab a few."
And then he would stab you in the eye. Yeah. In the eye.
Because actually, I think that is one of the things that serial killers do. Is that they
get cute cars. And then, you seem like a normal gentleman. Ah, my eye.
Yeah, but you know what though? That's like the ice cream man for adults. It just drives around playing some music, and then you run out there with your $50 to get your bottle of champagne.
Do we have to police you now? Like, Jackie, don't talk to strangers. Like, are you...
If they have a champagne truck,
are you a liability?
Are you a risk to yourself?
Yeah, are you endangering yourself?
For champagne trucks, yes. That look so cute that you just want to drive them around.
It's a good thing that those haven't caught on too hard.
Yeah, you gonna make it to 36?
I am only 29.
Oh, 29. Yeah. I mean, 30. Yeah. Right. So, the sweet chase happens, and... Mick Jagger's talking to him on the screen, but yet the fun thing about the laptop is that Mick Jagger has the ability to open the laptop. Like, you can't close me away. You can't put me in the darkness.
He's like, oh no, I don't like the darkness, and he pops it back open.
Yeah. And his goons in other cars that are basically just driving dune buggies keep crashing.
Oh, just bad driving on their own part.
They crash themselves like 3 or 4 times, not because of his driving.
Yeah, they just, whether he was there or not, they were going to run into something.
They were just guiding themselves. They were pointing at walls, and aiming at walls, and hitting them. And then he gets on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Well, you forget the token convertible joke where he...
Oh, right.
Oh, I can't see. After he gets done, him and Mick Jagger have been jerking each other off about his driving for most of the car chase, and then Jagger starts laughing and points in a manner that he knows exactly how the laptop is positioned in front of Emilio Estevez.
It's right over there.
So the point is hey, you should look over there. And then a semi, and he ducks, and it cleanly and perfectly rips the top off of the champagne truck.
I'd like to know when that gag first ever reared its head.
I don't know, but it's been around.
Yeah, I would be willing to say probably 10 movies that gag has been.
Oh yeah, it's been used.
Yeah, sure. So now he doesn't have a top on the S10. It's now not cute.
No more champagne bottle in the very front.
Yeah, gets onto this bridge. Unless I'm missing something else, but he's on this bridge.
Now they crash a few more cars, but eventually he just ends up on the bridge.
And
they've blocked off.
They've blocked off, and he has to jump off the bridge midair.
Speeds up, because that's going to make some fucking sort of difference if you're jumping off the fucking bridge.
I don't know. I didn't really understand why he got on the bridge.
I don't either.
I don't really understand anything.
But I don't, like, if you're going to jump 10, 50, does it matter? 0. You're jumping because you're assuming they're not going to follow you off the edge of the bridge. So if you floor it first, all that did was make it highly implausible that he would have been able to make it off the bridge without hitting one of the support beams.
Yes, they did not pay attention in physics class that you still are doing 65 if you jump or not.
If you jump out of a car going 65, you don't all of a sudden just fall straight down.
Yeah. So he ends up in the river that's
so toxic that if he drinks it, his body will be no good to whoever
Jagger
bought
says that. He says, if he drinks one thing, I've done a poor job or something.
I'm out of a job.
Yeah. So you can't drink the water, but you can jump into it, and then you can eat the river rats that live in the water.
Yeah, then we get to the bum who's talking about eating river rats. And then he goes through some weird bullshit about some kind of daddy eagle bringing back food.
Here we go.
His name on IMDb in the movie for the script, I guess, is Eagle Man.
Eagle Man. That is his name.
Yeah, that whole eagle thing, I'm like, what the fuck?
Sam and I are going to recreate
the eagle scene?
That very scene.
That scene was like, oh my god, shoot me in the face.
Sam will be playing the role of Alex Furlong. He only has 2 lines. And I am going to be Eagle Man.
Man, if it's come down to this, what's the point?
As he takes out his gun.
He riddles me, the ancient riddle. What's the point? Have you ever seen an eagle flying back to his home with dinner for the missus and all the little baby eagles? And he's flying against the wind, and he's flying in the rain, and he's flying through bullets and all kinds of hell. And then right at that moment when he's about to get back to his nest, he says, what the fuck? It's a drag being an eagle. And right then, 2 little X's come across his eyes just like in the old-fashioned cartoons, and he goes plunging down and down and down, and bam! He's just a splatter of feathers, and then we don't have the National Bird of America anymore. Did you ever see that?
No.
And scene. Nope, never saw that.
No, I haven't. What?
That's the awesomest shit ever.
Then he gets up and there's some dude that's been sitting above him the whole time. He just shoved the camera.
See his feet hanging off the thing.
What the fuck is up with this Eagle Man?
Yeah, the Eagle Man's crazy. You're like, this is the weirdest shit I've ever seen. And then they pan the camera up a little bit, and Emilio Estevez is walking off. There's some guy's feet dingling. They're like, who's that guy?
He's also eating sewer rat, we assume.
That was the best scene in the whole movie.
Oh, that was one of that speech is easily the most ridiculous thing I have seen. Like, that is the strangest monologue I have ever seen in a movie.
He asked him, "Did you ever see that?"
And then he answers, "No." And then it makes sense to him. He's like, "You're right. I shouldn't give up, batshit crazy asshole."
He's eating sewer rat. Like, that's the point that he gets inspired to keep going.
Yeah. The bum.
Wow, like...
that's probably why he is the National Bird of America, because he doesn't say fuck it, man. He keeps on flying and eating.
Flying through bullets.
Through bullets and rain and all of it.
Yeah, that was golden. Best part of the whole movie. There is some good lines in the movie, like some silly shit. There's the whorehouse and the that, and then some other stuff. But he goes on, and he's ready to now kick ass and
sort of
meet up with his girly friend, I guess, because that's
no, she comes and finds him, and she's like, if it really is Furlong, then he'll be in one of these places that he'll just go there. And her driver's like, fuck you, lady. Like, I don't want to go to the homeless section of town where everything's on fire. So he's following her around while she's looking for him because apparently he's left his trench coat and hat at her place. So she's got it, and she's carrying it through the homeless section. Meanwhile, all these homeless people, they're not rushing her or asking for change. The black guy behind her with the jerry curl is got a machine gun, like a 1920s Uzi machine gun, following her through the homeless section. And she's like, he's not here. And he's like, I am here, baby. And he steps out of the shadows like, okay, creepy.
Yeah.
Like, you see me looking for you. Why were you hiding in the shadows? You little weirdo. What were you doing back there? Like, taking a leak, jerking off? Like, what were you doing in the shadows that you had to wait for 5 minutes to come out and be like, I am here, baby?
Probably all of those things.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Probably had a finger up his butt and...
trying to help the poop out.
Or just getting off on it.
He was like, I miss her and her butthole kisses.
Yeah, if only she would show up and kiss my
favorite
butt.
kisses for my asshole.
Making a mouth out of his hand and then using it to kiss his own butt.
She's like, why do you have 2 eyes and some lips drawn on your hand? Don't look at that.
Why did you take so long to come out and say hi?
We don't need to worry about that now.
Oh, don't worry. I wasn't doing anything strange back there, like pretending that my hand was your mouth kissing my own butt.
Can you kiss my butt now? So now they're a team, sort of.
Well, the one guy, her bodyguard, seems to get on board pretty hard because his grandma likes him or something, likes the Alex Furlong character. So he's already on board, I guess.
Yeah.
The other thing that they didn't really set up very well, and we're not really setting it up very well either, is that she worked for the McCandless Corporation,
who owns the whole operation.
The bone jacking.
They own everything in the movie.
They do own everything. They're big
like
show.
a mega corp or whatever.
Yeah, and they've got Jonathan Banks, who lovingly fans will remember as Mike in Breaking Bad, and
he's also in the
bodyguard of Victor Maitland from Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop, yeah. He's in a lot of. He's an '80s bad guy.
He is brilliant in this movie.
And I almost called
him
Brad Davis because I get him and Brad Davis confused, who is another '80s bad guy.
So there's a scene where he's interrogating or like giving Rene Russo the business. Like, you gotta get him. This is your job. You gotta bring him to us. And then she kicks him in the balls 3 or 4 times. And he makes the goofiest fucking face you could possibly imagine. Over, too. Like,
no, and it was like, because it's funny, because it's like, I think I said something like, you hate when these character actors have to get on each other like this. But then it was like, we're going to just show everybody else what to do.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't Rene Russo. It was
Amanda Plummer.
The nun. He was trying to find out where
he
Alex
hits
Furlong
the nun in the face, and he calls her a liar, and then she's like, she comes back up after she gets hit in the face, and she's like, God told me to turn the other cheek. And she kind of looks off in the distance, and then just kicks him right in the nards. And he's like, and she's like, she starts laughing like a crazy person.
That was a good scene too, because it was
and then they just cut the scene.
It was totally not his Jonathan Banks at that point in time. He doesn't make goofy faces. He's a super tough guy. And cold, but the goofy face he makes is just
great.
He's like, oh my god, the cup slipped.
Yeah. Oh, she did kick me in the nuts. So. Yeah, and then is she dead now? Because she's not in the movie ever again.
No, I imagine at that point, because ultimately they have done a bad job being thugs, because she doesn't know anything. I gave him a jacket and a gun. Fuck if I know where he is. Because that's all she did.
Now you're in here slapping me around?
I still don't know anything, and now I had to kick somebody in the balls. They probably, end scene, he gets up, you guys are assholes, she doesn't know anything. Would you like to go get some corn dogs? I like you.
Some tasty treats.
I think that you and I can kind of see eye to eye here.
And even though you just kicked me 4 times
in the nuts, I deserved that. I slapped you in the face. You're a nut. I think corn dogs are in order here.
So, yeah. Then what the fuck happens?
Well, they boink.
Oh yeah.
We forget because they have to. We mustn't forget about the fucking guy from Mutant X is in this movie, who I will not look up because I do not care what his real name is.
Nope.
And I think his name was Adam Kane in Mutant X, but I'm not going to verify that because I think I was the only person that watched. Yeah,
she's pals with him, or work buddies, or colleagues, or maybe she's boning him. You kind of don't really know who this guy is that gets involved to help. Recruited, and his big help is to take Alex Furlong to a nightclub.
No, she decides to take him to a nightclub. He's like, we got to get this guy out of here.
Eventually.
Yeah. After he gets on TV.
he gets on TV with none other than Jerry Hall.
Yeah, Jerry Hall, Mick Jagger's wife.
Yeah, Mick Jagger's wife at the time.
I did not catch that.
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah, that was her.
I didn't catch that.
There's another awesome scene right at that point where she's interviewing and she goes, "So how do you like it here?" And he goes, "I don't. Everybody's chasing me. What is it that they want? My body." So he becomes a liability. And now he's on TV, and they got to get him out of here because now Victor Van de Schek knows where he's at.
Yeah, which prompts Mick Jagger to stop playing video games.
He's playing video games.
That's what he's just doing, waiting for something to happen, and he's playing games.
The funny thing is that the machine he was playing video games on also was apparently like running a virus check at the same time.
Yeah, something that is.
Because like a pop-up comes up on his video game screen, virus clean, and then he also it's a TV at the same time.
It's getting the one and all machine of the future.
It's the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So now he knows where Victor or Alex Furlong's at, and tries to get him, but he can't because he's too late. Right? They get him out of there.
Well, I think that he doesn't even. He's like, oh, he's popped up again, but then he has the foresight to realize, oh, they'll probably get him out of there. I'm just going to keep playing video games because you don't really see him until they decide to do something with Furlong.
I'll wait till I get to a save point.
Yeah.
Which I don't think that there were save points in that game. It looked pretty crappy.
So then they
didn't want to play that video game.
Him to the dudes from Mutant X's house, and then he has a weird sort of whatever conversation with Mutant X guy, and then all of a sudden he's in a bedroom without a shirt on, and she comes in, and she's like, so-and-so is gone. Why? It's his fucking house.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like, this is fucking too hot.
I know what these two are going to do.
They're going to have sex on my bed, or at least my guest bed.
You know what I noticed, though, about that is that they started off on a cast iron bed, and then when they show them dressing afterwards, it's a totally different bed.
Huh.
That's, one of the less weird things is that she should be a lot older, and she isn't.
She's not.
She got a different haircut.
She does have her hair got bigger. That's what happened to her in 18 years, was her fucking hair got bigger.
That's right. A little shorter, a little bigger.
So, they bone awkwardly. That whole scene is awkward They didn't
even show anything.
Well, no.
But like down out of the camera.
The build up to the boning that is implied is awkward. It's weird. They do weird things. But now they're back together. Like you think, oh well, now they're a couple again, and he mission accomplished. But the next thing that happens is she drops him off and is like, "Well,
see you later.
See you, bud. It didn't really work out between us.
I can't leave my job.
Old now."
And she's like, he's like, "Oh well, what the hell? You can't be with me because of your job." And she's like, at the time when we were together, if I'd asked you to quit being a race car driver for me, would you have done it? No, I guess you're right. So they
which is a valid point.
They just break up. Yeah, they weren't supposed to be together. They're a terrible on-screen couple.
Yeah.
So they don't actually really even like each other that much? Huh. Then this was what this movie's about? Huh. So he bails. He walks off.
Well, from her perspective, too, it's like, you're going to have a nice life on the lam that's probably going to last maybe a month and a half at best.
At best.
I have an apartment that's bigger inside than it is on the outside. I mean, gotta go.
Don't have to kiss butts.
And I don't have to kiss butts anymore.
I mean, metaphorically.
Metaphorically speaking.
Probably still has to kiss a lot of butts, but yeah. So then they walk off, or him and Boone walk off, the bodyguard.
Is that his name, Boone?
Boone, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Boone. And
which I only know two Boones.
Then the guys with guns again show up.
My favorite.
It wasn't Victor's guys, just guys with guns show up and start shooting at him, and they take out the guys. Boone gets shot in the shoulder,
and then automatically kills him.
Kills him.
So he has a samurai sword that he's running around with. They don't pay that off very nice because he uses it to stab one guy that's already dying.
Yeah.
Then he's like, I'm dying now, I've been shot in the shoulder. So he looks up to Emilio Estevez and he's like, you gotta run. And he's like, if I run, I'm gonna be running forever. I gotta find out who's doing this. And he's like, yeah, you do. You know what? I feel better now. you gotta run. Yes, I do. And then he does. And then he's like, I feel all right. I feel positive. Yeah, and then he blows himself up with a fucking hand grenade.
Yeah, I'll protect you. And
that's when Mick Jagger looks to, like, kind of goes,
explodes himself.
That's not good, and then wanders off.
It didn't make any sense.
No, it did not make. I'll see what I can do here. Oh, I've got an idea. Blow myself up. And he doesn't really take anybody with him because the guys he's laying on top of are already...
Yeah,
he already killed most of those guys.
Good job, thanks.
You just blew yourself up and you didn't even really have that bad of a gunshot wound. Or in terms of movie gunshot wounds, that one is one that sort of slows down, and say a Norris or a Arnold Schwarzenegger would still be able to pick a human being up with that arm by itself. A gunshot wound like that.
Yeah. Yeah, or pull your damn sword out of the guy's chest that you just poked it through and, like, start trying to whack other guys with it or anything. So, Boone's dead. He exploded. Emilio's still on the run.
For a very short period of time, because that's when they get him and Jagger have their first face-to-face.
Oh, yeah, that was a long scene. That whole...
Yeah.
Where he saves Jagger because Jagger is pinned down. Emilio! Start shooting people.
Yeah, because the guys with guns show up and start shooting everybody. And so now Jagger and Emilio are besties.
They're on... Well, then now they're, like, sort of on a truce that's 5 minutes long.
They should have invented a secret handshake. Because that's what that moment was all about, friendship.
I was glad. I was at the time, I was like, oh, please don't kill Jagger. Please don't kill Jagger. Because
he was saving that movie.
He's carrying this damn thing with his terrible acting.
And whoever was dressing him up was... Wow. Wow. Those costumes.
Yeah. So it was a nice relief that they didn't kill Jagger, because I was like, God damn it, the end of this movie's going to suck, because Jagger's got to die. But he doesn't. They team up, sort of. And he gives them the 5-minute head start.
Yeah.
Well, now you're my best friend. I'll give you 5 minutes.
One Mississippi.
Takes off, runs, and then...
I don't think they count Mississippi's in England.
That's what I was wondering.
I was wondering that too.
Is that just a...
I'm like, I think that's an American
US thing?
Yeah.
Well, what do you suppose they do over there?
In Mississippi, I think they count alligators.
Yeah, I've heard of counting the alligator.
I don't know what they count over there.
Tea and crumpets?
They're English, so they just know how to count properly, I suppose.
I guess that's true. 1, 2. Oh, wow, that's cool. I never thought of doing it that way. Huh. So, Furlong's on the run again.
Even though he doesn't want to be on the run. He's tired of it.
Yeah.
And I can't run forever, but I'm just going to run.
Where does he run to at that point?
He runs outside of there, and then...
Oh, yeah, she
shows up in she steals one of Jagger's tanks. Car things.
And I like that he's like, he takes his crappy little pistol and starts shooting at the tank, and then he runs out of bullets, and he just stands there while the tank's like bearing down on him.
I think he leaves one, because he has one left.
One bullet.
Yeah, that's right. So your gun's not going to work against the tank first, and then you could probably like try to dodge the tank, but thankfully Rene Russo's inside the tank driving the tank. And they make a phone call, on-screen phone call thing to...
TV phone.
To Mutant X guy, right?
Well, I thought it was McCandles.
Oh no, it was McCandles.
And now what's his face is in charge of the company.
Anthony Hopkins is not in this movie very much.
No, he's
looking for an Anthony Hopkins movie.
At the end, and then he's like,
he phoned it in.
Tired of
he got his day rate. He got his day rate for that. So they call him, and then after they hang up, he's like, "It must be a trace." There's that blinking light right there.
They call him, and McCandles doesn't answer the phone. That's when she finds out that he's been dead.
Right? No. The blinking light.
Yeah, that's the tracer.
How do you know that? What's that?
It's a tracer. Oh yeah, you're a race car driver. It's a blinking light. What do you really know?
From the past, you're a race car driver from the past. I don't even know what this tank car thing is, but you know that's. Oh shit! We just got traced. So now they know again where they're at.
Yeah, and it turns out that he's right.
Yeah, so they go to meet with Jonathan Banks.
Yes.
And Banks tells him, fuck it. I'm not after you.
Really don't care.
He's dead. McCandles is dead. And
so
I don't really care. I'm the president now, so you're whatever. Go
Whatever
home.
you want to do, go home.
And then she fucking slaps him across the face.
And then Emilio gets up in there, and he, like, gets in his fucking personal bubble and giggles at him, like...
Hee I farted in your office.
And if you're...
Movie's over.
The character...
Just go home now.
I don't even remember what the character's name is, but if I'm him, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Go over to your desk, he's like, they're in the elevator, kill them when they get downstairs. They're assholes.
They are assholes.
Don't like them.
I just gave them an opportunity to leave.
I gave them a lifetime of riches, and they slapped me in the face. So you know what? Fuck them.
So then they're set up in the elevator to be dead. There's guys down at the bottom.
That's when you find out Emilio has one bullet left.
He has one bullet left, which doesn't make any sense because the bullet's in the clip. If you would actually have two, because there's one in the chamber.
One in the chamber, yeah.
So they can't take on all the guys that are down at the ground floor. So instead they...
He's like, well, he does exactly what he plans to do. He's like, well, I've got one bullet left. The elevator doors open. He shoots somebody and then closes the elevator doors. And just fortunately, Mick Jagger's already down there with a bunch of guys like, I shoot them all.
He's like, hey, wait a minute, and everybody turns around that's supposed to be shooting Emilio, and they get blown away by Mick Jagger's guys.
Then none of the strays hit either Emilio or Rene Russo.
Right.
Right, because the elevator closes and they're on to the 100th floor.
Yeah, she thinks that it's the 100th floor, but it's going past the 100th floor.
It's going to the giant jack in the sky.
Why is it going up there? But his response, like, oh shit, it's out of control. He starts jamming on all the buttons, like, stop, close, doors, open. Emergency.
There was a button on the elevator called set. Like,
yeah.
What am I setting? Does this make potatoes?
Yeah, that was obviously like somebody's
3
TV
minutes.
remote. Like,
does this have an automatic popcorn setting?
So they end up getting up to the top of the it was shaped, the top of the building was shaped like a jack.
A jack.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's got like...
That's why it's called Freejack.
I don't know, like, whoever in the art... No, see, like, the whole Freejack thing, like, I can see the name Freejack probably is something in the novel, like, whoever got together and decided that the art department needed to incorporate actual jacks into the visuals of the film isn't jack.
Not like car jacks, like Jack's the game.
Like
Marbles and jacks.
Ball and jacks.
Essentially, caltrops is what they are. But, which I guess caltrops is, if you don't know what a jack is, you probably don't know what a caltrops
is, yeah.
So anyways, they're in the top of the building, the future piece, like, because...
And it's called McCandless Corporation, not Jack Corporation.
Right.
So, which would make sense if you had a giant jack on the top of your building.
So, the whole movie isn't, like, there's no future area. There's no, like, supercomputers or, like, weird clothing. I mean, there is weird clothing, but it's not like spacey future clothing. No. This scene, like, the doors are like from Star Trek.
Everything is from the future.
Yeah, everything is just in this one area.
You have now entered the future.
Yeah.
It's at the top of this building.
Yeah, with the balls.
It looks like the spaceship in Solaris.
Pretty much. Or
on the inside.
It actually, like, when we were watching, I said that it looked like HAL 9000 Central Processing Unit.
There's a lot of science fiction spaceships look very similar to that.
And then right after that, after I say the HAL 9000 thing, they go into this room and they have a 2001 style bullshit kaleidoscope traveling thing.
Yeah.
They enter the fucking monolith, and I was like, dude, did somebody just like, oh man, I just saw 2001, it was fucking rad, we gotta end this.
We gotta end this
with some 2001 shit.
Yeah, there was a bunch of 3D animation in the movie that was like, I bet everyone was so excited about that, you know, this is what, 23 years later now. It has not stood this test of time.
No.
The 3D animation in that film is looking quite dated.
Yeah, no, that was... And, like, some of the mat work was really shitty and completely unnecessary because they're entering the building and they go up the escalator and they have to paint them going up the escalator. Like, why is that? Just go to a fucking mall and film that shot.
Yeah,
you just needed some escalators. You don't need to have all this other painting stuff that doesn't even apply to anything.
Yeah.
So, anyways, they enter the machine and Anthony Hopkins is there. Computer Anthony Hopkins, because his brain has been downloaded. He's Lawnmower Man himself.
He's been dead for 3 days.
Yeah, he's dead for 3 days. He's Lawnmower Man.
But apparently the spiritual...
Jacked in.
The spiritual thing can only hold your body for 3 days.
With your body or your mind?
Your mind. For like 3 days, and then it just dumps you to crump.
Yeah, I guess you get electronically scrambled is what's his face said in his office. He didn't say why, but apparently that's as long as you can.
I'm pretty sure if you can download somebody's consciousness into a computer, it's probably going to be okay for more than 3 days.
Yeah.
But my files on my computer don't get fucked up.
No, they don't. They don't really.
Yeah, but what we're saying here is that the guy only had 3 days.
And he's down to like his last hour.
Yeah,
but he's
the
very
clock is
cordial when it shows up. Like, welcome to my mind. Like, wow, your mind sucks.
Yeah,
it's got a bunch of really bullshit graphics, and now we're standing in the desert next to a weird building. This isn't
a weird church.
Yeah, so he does the exact same thing as Jonathan Banks. He's like, I've changed my mind. I think that I deserve to be sentenced to death for my actions, and you shall just pretend to be me and become the world's richest man, Alex Furlong, and you get to bone Rene Russo and be happy, and everything is good, but I will be dead, and that's a piece of glass. But why did he say all that shit? Because 2 seconds later, Jagger shows up, and he's like, haha, tricked you. I was fooling you. I am actually going to steal your body and live in it and bone Rene Russo, and you will be... I don't know what happens when he takes over your body. The
mind goes, it wipes your memory out.
He's just taking over your body with his mind. Like, it wipes out your existence in the brain. It's usually, like it says, the brain's a hard drive. We're wiping your system and we're putting his on it.
Yeah. So, anyway, to make this scene more dramatic, a gigantic jack comes up from the floor.
Yeah.
That he has to put his hands on the balls.
Yeah, that's how this process works, is you just put your hands on the balls and you can have your brain wiped.
Mm.
But the other person on the other side of the jack with their hands on the other two balls
and then Anthony Hopkins isn't even exist in the physical. His hands don't need to be on the balls. He doesn't need to
have his hands on the balls.
His hands aren't even
And why can't you just take your hands off the balls? Be like, I don't want you in my mind. I'll just remove my hands from the balls.
Well, if it was electric, you'd be stuck. Because your muscles would lock. But I might be overanalyzing.
I think you're overanalyzing. Well, maybe I'm overanalyzing.
I don't know. There was a lot of...
Wait, this is a podcast about bad movies? And it lasts an hour? I think we're overanalyzing everything. So it's fair game. So he does get jacked in. Like, oh, well, but then Rene Russo shoots the machine. Why didn't you just shoot the machine?
Shooting the machine should have killed them both.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I think too. Like, you just, nice job. You just killed them both. Or you blew up the machine in process of mind wiping.
Which would have been a good ending.
/ mind transferring.
And then she turns to Mick Jagger and is like, would you like to go get some corn dogs?
Would you like to have your butt kissed by me?
Yeah, I have been known to kiss butts.
So, Jagger is now confused because the transfer may be done, maybe it's not.
Happened.
And Jonathan Banks shows up, and he's shot.
He's shot pretty good. Why? He looks like he's bleeding out real
shot
nice.
Him?
Yeah, we kind of missed that.
Well, no, because Anthony Hopkins said go kill him. Anthony Hopkins' character tells Mick Jagger to kill what's-his-face.
But he never has the opportunity to.
Well, you don't know what's happening in between the time that you're wandering around in Anthony Hopkins' mind that's bullshit land and what Mick Jagger is actually doing, because there's a good period of time between him saying, go kill whatever Jonathan Banks' character's name is, and then the point that he shows up at the top of the building.
I missed that whole go kill him thing.
Yeah, he said to go kill him.
And why? Why go kill him?
Other than that...
Because he tried to betray him.
Yeah, but how does he know that?
Because he's in the system.
Well, he took over the elevator. He knows everything, apparently.
He's got the power of plot convenience.
He's the lawnmower man.
Yeah. So, Jonathan Banks shows up, he's shot, and is like, no, that's Alex Furlong still. That's him. I'm the president. Take orders from me. And Alex Furlong is like, no, I'm McCandless. You take orders from me. I'm your boss. And so... Jagger doesn't know what to do, but he does know what to do. He asks him his ID number, his social security number, or whatever.
Which was awesome because he just goes 6. And then he doesn't go into the next number. And I was really thinking that his ID number was 6 and how awesome that was going to be. Like, what's your code in society?
6.
You're right. It is 6. It's a low number. How'd you get that one?
Yeah, that's hard to come by.
That one was awesome. That's what I was thinking too. I'm like,
I did too. I totally,
wow,
because it was such a long
that's not really
pause.
high security there. Like 6.
9.
Got a 1 in 10 chance.
Yeah. Yeah. So then he rattles off a bunch more numbers, and Jonathan Banks is like, no. And
he goes to go shoot everybody.
Yeah, he pulls his gun, and everybody, Mick Jagger's guys, blow him away.
Which
and
is
he
what
again
they
makes
should
a
have
goofy
done.
face.
What they should have done if they were supposed to have killed him in the first place.
Yes.
He should have been shot that many
he's
times.
alive, shoot him. But then they blow him away.
Nice job not killing him.
He makes another goofy face.
Yeah.
Ah! Which is just awesome. And just love Jonathan Banks in this movie. So now, supposedly Alex Furlong is ceased to be, and Anthony Hopkins won, McCandless.
Yeah.
And so, epilogue. They're in the car, the Cadillac, the sweet Cadillac. It's like a
1920s Cadillac.
Yeah, it's like a 25 Cadillac. Oh, what a gorgeous car.
Driving off.
And Rene Russo is in a wedding dress of some sort.
Because you tell it's some
he's like,
white bullshit. He's like, you're dressed inappropriately.
Yeah, he's like, let's get you into something more appropriate, and then we will start our life together.
Because I'm...
When she doesn't know at this point,
you have to bone me.
Yeah, at this point, she doesn't know that it's not Alex Furlong, so she's just like,
along for the ride. I
whatever.
guess.
I got nothing else. This is what happens when you work for a corporation.
I have to kiss somebody's ass.
Yeah,
might as well be yours. I mean, it's the same set of buns that I've been kissing. Well,
or was
minus the
18
19 years. Since then, I have kissed many other buns, but. So then Jagger, stops him, roadblock style, stops him from driving away. He's like, I knew you slipped up at some point. McCandless doesn't drive.
He says can't drive, which I would thought was a strange line. He
physically can't?
He physically can't? He got a DUI?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things, can't drive is a weird phrasing there.
Mm-hmm. I know people can't swim, but I'm pretty sure everybody can drive. There's nothing prohibits you physically from driving unless you're a dog. And even then, there's driving dogs sometimes. Driving
or maybe
cats.
This is actually, to be honest, Mick Jagger's, some of his employees, I would say they can't drive. Because they were running into things.
They can drive, but they can drive poorly.
Poorly, yeah. And so, I would be like, the guy especially that just sort of ran into the side of the bridge at full speed, he can't drive.
Well, he can't because he's dead.
Yeah. But beforehand, it was like, can you drive? Yes. No, you can't. You can't. You can get behind the wheel of a car, but can you drive? No. And so maybe that was the third option on can't drive. That if you put him behind the wheel of a car, even though he's this business magnate, that he would just floor it and run into something. You put him behind the wheel of a car.
Nope, you can't drive.
You
can't drive, boss.
Can't drive.
We're never going to let you drive again. So that's how he knows that he's Alex Furlong. But at the same time, there's the number thing still to clear up. And he's like, well, what how's about Rene Russo's like, how did she do the number? He's like, I lied.
Yeah, and Jagger's like, I lied. And then he gives this really weird smile and I also fought it by your car.
Which does explain the long pause on 6. That if 6 wasn't the first number, Emilio Estevez at that point is waiting for him to be like, are you going to kill me or not? So, I mean, it does sort of make sense afterwards, but when it's happening, you're like, what?
This is stupid.
Wouldn't the odds be that you would go too many numbers or not enough, and all Jonathan Banks had to do was be like, that's too many numbers.
Yeah, because he's
I know how ID numbers work. Well, what else is he gonna do?
He's just rattling off 6 or 7 numbers.
If somebody says their social security number or their phone number or whatever, you know how many numbers are in there. You just go mentally. Beep, 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 beep,
yeah, but
beep,
what
beep.
if you pause, right? That could have thrown off the scale.
And then he's been shot, so he's not thinking clearly. He's having a rough time.
Yeah, so that's the movie.
We forgot to mention the James Brown scream.
James Brown scream.
There was no Wilhelm scream.
You wrote the exact same thing. James Brown scream. James Brown scream.
James Brown scream. Yeah, usually, like, I think every
movie... It was the beginning of I Feel Good.
Yeah, every movie that we've seen so far, for the purposes of this podcast, has had a Wilhelm scream. This one doesn't,
it's got
but it
James
does
Brown.
have a James Brown scream.
Him?
I think they probably didn't. I bet they just snuck that in there and saw if they could get away with it, and probably did.
Why
because
wouldn't they use,
apparently
like,
no one
something
went
like
and saw this
from Jagger? Why wouldn't they pull something out of the Jagger catalog?
I don't know.
I don't know.
The
But
sound
Jagger's
designer apparently
henchman, though. Did you guys catch this? That guy had, like, when so this guy who was like Mick Jagger's right hand man in this show, he was like running all the machines or whatever.
Oh yeah, the face,
everybody.
the guy with the bad face.
So he's got like this scarred up face and everything. But then when he's running ops, right? Like he's sitting in front of the computer running all the digital, like, we have tracked him to blah blah blah, right? Mm-hmm. Those shots, he's got a pair of glasses on and one lens is completely
blacked out. Like he doesn't have an eye patch or he does have an eye patch.
Right, but then he takes them off and it's like, okay, so you don't need a fucking eye patch because both of your eyes are normal.
His eyes are fine.
Like, why do you have fucking pirate glasses?
Yeah, this is the future.
It's weird.
And
that was weird.
When you're a costume designer, it'd be like, make it look future-y. What's future-y? I don't know. Just put some bullshit together. A pair of aviators
with only one lens.
Yeah, that's the future. It's like those crappy sunglasses during the Back to the Future time when they, like, these are how future sunglasses are going to look. Like, stupid? Like, don't make any fucking sense? And they're all hot pink? What the fuck? Yeah, that's what I remember.
You know, the other thing that I really noticed about this movie is in two separate shots when Emilio first goes to the future, right, when he escapes out of the submarine sandwich, there's a sign, right? He's like looking, he's doing the pan shot, and there's a sign that says suicide assist.
Like, I'm in the future.
And I look at it, and
suicide
then, like,
assistance, yeah.
And then again, like, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes later in the movie, he's doing the same stupid scan. It's a different look, but it's suicide assist. I'm like, so apparently Kevorkian in 2009 in the future was it. Like, they had a suicide assist line.
Yeah, just call us. We'll take care of it. We'll take care of it over the phone. You'll be dead before you can even
little blow dart and everybody's
run out
cell phone.
of your quarter in the payphone. I don't know. It was electronically scramble their brains.
It was weird.
It was, yeah. And
I thought, well, that kind of makes sense when you really look at the way that these people are living.
So shitty, except for you got river
in the
rats all over the place. Did you guys like it?
I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
I really liked it. I thought it was a hoot.
I think it's a recommend because I had tried to watch it and fallen asleep a couple times, but when sitting through the whole thing, I say yay. I give it a yay. Although I will caution that for a movie that has as much action, the action isn't very exciting.
No.
The driving
scene was fun, but a lot of the shooting is just like guns shooting everywhere that isn't exciting.
Right.
Yeah, I really thought that Mick Jagger made this movie.
Absolutely.
I loved Jagger in this movie. That's the only reason I'm going to recommend it. I'm going to say yay because I enjoyed seeing Mick Jagger be Mick Jagger because he wasn't trying to act. He was like, dude, I'm Mick Jagger and this is how I am.
Yeah, you have to deal with it because that's me.
Yeah, and Emilio Estevez was like trying to pull a Mick Jagger because he was like, I have a smile. And then I have a really stupid, like, I think I might have shit my pants look that he wears for a majority of the movie.
That's every movie with him.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
I don't understand.
Except Stakeout. Stakeout with him and Richard Dreyfuss. I bet that's good. Or another Stakeout with him, Richard Dreyfuss, and Rosie O'Donnell? What?
I don't know. Renee, though, she just looked like she was uncomfortable every scene that she had to be with Emilio, and she's like...
She's a lot taller than he is, and that was making it weird.
But you know what? I kind of just want... You could just tell she was like, oh my god, you need a tic-tac, something. I mean, there was something wrong going on in those shots because she was just like, you're kind of repulsive, dude.
I think that there's... Maybe he's a handsy guy. He's like his brother and he's a butt grabber. She's like, I kind of don't want my butt grabbed. And he's like,
but she's able to...
But I'm a butt grabber.
He can't grab my butt, but I will put my lips square on his poopy underwear.
Yeah, she did kiss his butt.
That was probably the deal. She's like, look, if you don't get handsy, I'll kiss your buns in the opening scene.
I think if you're a handsy guy, I think you'd still get handsy. Like, I don't like that. Getting my butt kissed doesn't really do anything for me. I'm going to get a handful instead.
Or she's just like, look, I like kissing butts. I don't like getting molested, so...
Yeah, because there were some of those scenes where she's like,
it's not
got
an invitation,
his hands,
buddy.
and she's like holding his hands for like no apparent reason. Like, your hands are going to wander during this scene because it's longer than 2 minutes. So I'm just going to hold your hands and pretend like we're having a moment.
Keep it all right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your hands where I can see them, Emilio. Get your hands out of your pants.
Quit jerking it. So, yeah, it was a good time. You guys got anything else?
Nope.
No. I'd say do it. I liked Mick Jagger in this movie.
What are we doing next? Oh, it's Jackie's pick next.
Teen Witch!
Teen Witch, which looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, that should be actually I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking real forward. The next week could be the one.
Well, not next week. We will be off next week, and then, which by the time this release, this is not going to make any difference to what timing-wise. It's all going to blend in together. But for us, we are not recording an episode next week. But... So,
the only thing that this movie was missing, I thought, was a sweet tune.
It had
at the end. It has the scorpions at the end.
Fucking scorpions.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Fuck yeah. It was like, ooh. That wasn't a very good movie.
Rock Me Like a Hurricane.
Oh.
I don't know what it was.
It wasn't Rock Me Like a Hurricane.
Something the Scorpions wrote directly
I'd never heard it. I mean, it sounded like every other Scorpion song, so I don't know why it couldn't have been a hit at the time.
It may have been.
Maybe.
It was 91. I wasn't paying attention to them at that point. At that point, Nirvana had sort of taken over things for me. So.
That's true. I guess that's a good point. Well, as always, get to the chopper!